Whether you're crafting cinematic edits, producing branded content, or exploring the evolving world of visual storytelling, the tools we use are constantly changing. Few innovations are reshaping the editing world faster than artificial intelligence. From automated cutting tools to tools that can generate the entire video clip from scratch, this technology is transforming how editors tell stories and save time. Today, we'll dive into how AI fits into the creative process, what tools are making the biggest impact, and what it all means for the future of post-production. Welcome to Render Time. Welcome to Render Time, a podcast where we deep dive into all things video. Each episode, we sit down with creators to explore the craft, tools, and trends shaping the future of content. Today, we're talking about using AI in video editing. This is a topic that's generating equal parts of excitement and skepticism. I'm Carrie, a video editor for MarketScale and your host for today's episode. And today I'm joined by two MarketScale video editors, Blake Tamble and Cameron Chopin. So going right into the first question, when did you first start experimenting with AI tools in your workflow?
Well, I think technically the first AI tool that I ever used when I was editing is when you synchronize the audio, so like you have your audio track from the camera and then you have it recorded on a microphone and then you synchronize it, which I didn't even realize at the time is technically, AI, but I was thinking about it and that's definitely the first time that I used it. And since then, I love using it for audio. It's my favorite thing because I'm not really that great at audio. And so anything that can help me be better, I'm all for.
Yeah, just like Blake said, the first few tools that I used that were AI-based, I didn't even realize they were AI. Like Pluralize for syncing audio and video, which is just you put in all the video tracks, all the audio tracks, and just click one button and it syncs them all up. That is a form of AI before AI was such a buzzword. And nowadays, on a daily basis, I use things like the Adobe Audio Enhance tool, which basically just cleans up audio to a degree that we didn't think was possible before. I remember when it first came out, a work buddy of mine was like, "You got to hear this. You'll never believe. It sounds like it was recorded in a studio." And so, that we use that on a daily basis now.
So what are some AI tools or features that have genuinely improved your editing process? I know you touched on the syncing with the video and audio and Adobe Enhance, but are there any others that come to mind?
Yes, every day it feels like there's more AI integrated into my workflow as an editor. There is the Adobe Enhance that we were talking about earlier, which is just really cleaning up audio to a degree that sounds professional. There's also 11 Labs has its own background noise removal, which does that same type of thing. Sometimes one's better, sometimes the other is. We're using 11 Labs very frequently for voiceovers. It has a tool that basically it can use professional sounding voice profiles and create fully realistic voiceover for videos that is just based on a text script that you give it. So that's been pretty game changing. We use that for all kinds of videos at MarketScale. I'm actually also on the innovation team, so we're testing new tools like all the time. Every week, I feel like there's something new that comes out that we're testing. Captioning is also a big thing that we do a lot of. There's a lot of apps that have AI-based captioning. Even Premiere can do that as well.
Yeah, those are pretty much all of the same tools that I use on a daily basis as well. Pretty much everything audio-wise, whether it's captions, making the audio sound better, or generating audio from scratch, like with a AI voiceover, I use those, almost every single day. The things that I don't use as much yet are like video-based AI. I think there's still some improvements that need to happen before those look like 100% natural. But I do actually end up using the AI tools in Photoshop a lot to take somebody's logo, off of a slide so that I can just have that pattern on the slide be a blank slide so I can put my own text in. So I do use it for graphics as well, which has been so helpful because I remember the days in Photoshop where you had to go in and manually like duplicate things, and it just took so long. So that has been a game changer as well.
I just wanted to second that about the Photoshop AI. It's extremely useful. I was never really skilled at Photoshop to begin with, but Photoshop, the AI generative tool, is like so intuitive. You just select something and tell the AI what to do with it. You can remove stuff out of pictures that you don't want. And I use that for altering certain frames and then using that for the video going forward. There's just so many uses there.
So, Cameron, you mentioned that you're on the innovation team at MarketScale. What exactly does that team do?
Yeah, so the innovation team acts as the first step in the pipeline of tools that we test, and then what is going to be handed to the editors eventually to improve their workflow. There's a lot of things that we have to consider when doing these tests and these evaluations. There's speed, efficiency, quality, cost per month, lots of different factors into what's going to actually be a good tool for B2B editing on the MarketScale editor side of things. There are some that are extremely good quality. For example, Sora 2's Pro version is extremely good quality, but it takes 30 minutes to generate a video clip. So all of these factors need to be determined in MarketScale innovation team before they're available and ready to use for the editors.
So, can either of you give an example of a project where AI made a noticeable difference, either in the speed of the project that you worked on or the quality of it?
So I'm on the innovation team, and I'm also a traditional video editor within MarketScale. And as an editor, still, AI improves every aspect of most of the videos that I produce, whether it's the audio quality improving. A lot of UGC videos that people bring in have like extremely loud background noise. And so the AI is able to remove those, or like just a lot of camera shake because it's done by people who are not necessarily video professionals. And so the post-production tools we have that include AI, a lot of it's like older AI, for example, Warp Stabilizer, that lets us just polish up things that otherwise you wouldn't know were just sent in by ordinary people. You end up with a professional looking product that started with raw videos from UGC.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. Like, we work with B2B, so we get a lot of footage from trade shows and stuff. And even when people have nice lapel mics on, there's so much going on in the background that it's like, before this last year when like the AI audio tools really stepped up their game, it was so hard to make those people sound clear at all. And so pretty much every single video that I get from a trade show, like before I was like, oh no, like, am I going to make this be able to sound good? And now I'm like, oh, like I can make that sound great. Like no problem. So I feel like it's really allowing our clients to actually have really good videos, and we're making a push for UGC, and that's really important. And now we can actually give them really great quality work back. And they're like, oh, wow, like I didn't think it could sound like this.
So how do you guys balance the efficiency from AI tools with maintaining that personal human editing style?
AI has become so advanced in generating realistic products, especially like video, right? At this point, video, photos, it basically looks real. We've all seen this on social media. It's all over the news. AI can basically make things look real, but where the editors have the upper hand is storytelling. Human editors know how to tell a story. AI, unless there's some crazy prompt engineer out there that I'm unaware of, cannot do that. You can have something look really polished. I've seen things that's like, oh, they used Midjourney, they used Sora, they use like these high-end AI generators to make something look aesthetically really perfect. But what is it? What is it at the end of the day? Like, where's the substance, right? Like, it's substance and storytelling, like emotionally impactful and emotion-driven storytelling is where the human hand still shines. And perhaps in the future, AI will be able to do that. But as for now, that is where the editors have the upper hand. Also, if you make a generated video with a prompt, then if the client wants to change anything, you can't change a particular thing unless you are just going into After Effects and manually doing the MP4 edit. You have to just send the prompt again and hope that it gets something similar to what you got before. So prompt consistency is like a huge deal in prompting for generative video, but ultimately the editors still have the upper hand and we can make the details that make the difference.
Yeah, I would say that AI almost allows me to be more creative because I don't have to focus so much on getting all of that technical stuff right, because it can do that for you. And so I get to spend the bulk of my time actually thinking about stuff like story, finding, good music tracks, blending them together, finding the good clips, and really making the edits impactful. And I don't have to spend hours and hours working on the audio, trying to fix it and make it sound good. So I have enjoyed that.
So what are some challenges or limitations that you face using these AI assisted tools?
So I'll start with the Adobe Audio Enhancer because it's not a miracle worker. It does a really good job most of the time, but if there's like extreme background noise, then it can't always get all of it out. And sometimes it'll sound either robotic or it'll make up like word sounds that are not there, or it will sound like someone else's voice. And so that's obviously not okay. So a lot of times there's a challenge of balancing between traditional noise improvement tools and the AI tools. And sometimes I have projects where I switch back and forth depending on what part of the segments of audio work and which ones don't. And I don't think a lot of editors intuitively think about this because we just have the idea that, AI can fix it immediately, that if you run it, the generation of the audio once through Audio Enhance or whatever, and it doesn't sound good, sometimes if you run it a second time, it'll sound better. It's very hit or miss, but something else I wanted to mention was the captions. Like captioning can be very iffy. Sometimes, every once in a while, AI captions will get a word or a context wrong. But most of the time, AI-based captions through CapCut or most tools these days like get it pretty spot on. But we're using Premiere, and for some reason, Premiere captioning is just not. They need to get with the times. I don't know what's going on. It would have been good for 2015 or 2025. So I'm not sure why Premiere's captions are the way they are, but that's why we have other AI tools.
I feel like for me, where I see the most hiccups is in graphics. And like the other day, I was working on a project and they had like a slide deck and it had a pattern on it. And so I wanted to make the entire background that pattern. It's like, make this pattern fill the page. And it put these like random symbols. It was like not getting with the program at all. And so then I had to go back and do it, traditionally, which was fine. But I was like, how come it can't recognize like there's a pattern here? Make it across the whole page,
Yeah.
So that's where I have found the most hiccups is like when I'm trying to say like, oh, can you make this? And it's like, no.
Yeah. It either gets it or it doesn't.
Yeah.
So we have like really powerful image generator tools like Gemini and the Photoshop AI, right? But the funny thing is, like I think it can do a lot more than we think it can because we'll write a prompt and then it won't understand what the prompt is supposed to be, even though it's able to do what we're trying to do. And so learning how to prompt well is going to become more and more relevant. But my favorite thing about these is sometimes there's just really funny results. Like if you tell the AI something and then it gives you like, I don't know, just something super unexpected. And you're like, okay, I know why you did that, but that's not what I meant. And I don't know how to get you to understand what I meant.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay, so random story. We bought a bus. My husband and I were turning it into a tiny home. And I wanted to get like blueprints, and I can make them in Illustrator, obviously. But I was like, oh, I wonder if ChatGPT could just like throw up some like measurements, if I give it like the measurements and it can make me some blueprints. And so I gave it that and I said, can you give me the blueprints based off these measurements for dog nose bus? And it gave me like an outline of the bus with blue dog prints in a pattern. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like,
Yeah, like a human would have enough context to know that's not what you're talking about.
yeah. So I was like, can't you read my mind by now? Like, that's not what I meant, but I get why you did that. Cause like, I can see, but I ended up just making it in Illustrator anyway. Cause I was like, that's just too, I kept trying to change the prompt and I was like, it's not understanding. I can't explain exactly how it wants me to. So forget it.
I have a really similar story here real quick. That's funny. This wasn't for a client, but I had a personal fun project where I was trying to make a guy talking to a humanoid robot from the movie I, Robot, if you're familiar with the Will Smith movie. And so I told it, guys, talking to I, Robot, and then it made him talking to the iRobot, like the vacuum, the little automatic vacuum circle things.
So, okay, quick story. I know we're all telling stories here, but I met a celebrity a few months ago out in public, and my friend, I wanted to post the picture that I took with him, and my friend did not like the way she looked in it. So I tried removing her, and it gave me like the weirdest, like demon looking lady in replace of her. I was like, no, this is not what I wanted.
Yeah, the generation results are so cursed sometimes. Like, it just messes up reality, and there's just this complete distortion, but like vaguely related to what you're talking about.
Yeah, it really is so funny. So what advice would you give to up-and-coming editors learning to blend their storytelling with technology?
I would just say to start using them and messing around with them and kind of seeing what you get. I think the first thing to start out with for sure is audio. I think most people get into video editing because they love visuals and they have a harder time with audio. And so I think that is a great place to start to really step up your game as a new editor.
I would say don't use AI tools completely as a crutch as a video editor, but use AI tools to enhance your creativity, not to do your thinking for you or to replace the artistic vision that you have. Like, AI is great when it is enhancing artists, but it is a scary, bad thing when it is replacing artists. And I know this is a big deal right now in the world. Like, we don't want to replace people. We just want to enhance what we're already able to do. So I would encourage trying, certain AI tactics. They're really fun too. But the human is the artist.
So are there any misconceptions that people have about using AI in creative work?
People think that AI is a complete miracle worker and can do everything for you and read your mind. And that is just not true at all, at least not in 2025. And so I think that when there's not a lot of human effort, that is noticeable. Even if it's a high quality AI tool that can make some really high quality, aesthetically pleasing stuff, you can tell that there was not human effort put into it. That's where we get the term AI slop.
Yeah, I agree. I would say, a similar thing. I hear people say all the time, like, oh, like AI is going to take over your job. Aren't you worried about that? I'm like, no, I'm not, because it's a computer and I still use a computer every single day, and even like when we're making prompts, a human has to still prompt the AI to do something. It's not like how the movies are where the robots like have emotions and have their own minds and are just going about their day doing stuff, so you still, no matter how advanced it gets, you still have to have a human element in there somewhere.
All right. Any final thoughts before we close out from either of you?
Most people think they hate like AI generated stuff when they just see it casually online. It's not that they hate like AI as a whole. It's that they hate when people are just throwing stuff out there with no effort because it's just cheesy. It's sloppy. Like, nobody likes that. So yeah, it's just, again, use it to enhance what you can do, not to replace it.
So thank you so much to Blake and Cameron for joining us for today's episode. And thank you for tuning into this episode of Render Time, presented by MarketScale. If you enjoyed this discussion, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for future episodes where we explore the art, craft, and technology of video production.